Hello guys, my name is Dima, UI in Progress channel, and today we'll talk about 10 common mistakes that every junior UI designer done. In the beginning, I want to start that I was a teacher in one design beginning course and I had 15 students. All these mistakes were based on the experience in that course. In addition, we'll talk about how to avoid these mistakes when you start design career. Let's start. Poor contrast. In our case, we have two examples. It's a delete confirmation pop-up. In the right side, it's correct example. In the left side, isn't correct. In the left side example, we have an issue with buttons. It's difficult to read this text in this background. In the right side, everything is okay. When you start, you can use a simple plugin which helps you to understand the contrast between elements, and the name of the plugin is Contrast. You can find it in plugins in Figma. In the case if you select cancel button, it shows us it has a black color in the gray background, and it passes all tests and everything is great. We can read it easily. The same thing for this button as well, but if you come back to our incorrect example, we failed, the test was failed for both buttons. The bottom line of this one, we should check the contrast. When we start create some design, please check the contrast in every design elements, so that every customer can read it easily. Issue with typography. Okay, let's start with the typography. We have a title and description. The container is much bigger than the text. Okay, how to figure out with this situation? In a case if you have 2 lines of text or more, please use auto height and it's fit to your container of the text. In a case if you have only 1 line of your text, please use auto width and it's fit to the container of the text. Second one, it's avoid paragraphs. In our case we have additional paragraphs. Please delete it and use your text without paragraphs. It's a common mistake when you copy and paste something to Figma. Some words about text alignment. If you're talking about left alignment, use it for 100% cases, for titles and for body text. If you're talking about center alignment, use it for 15% cases. For titles, if you want to highlight it, and if we're talking about body text, please do it, but make sure you have less than 3 lines of your text. And if you're talking about right alignment, please avoid it when you start, because it would be difficult to understand how to use it in which cases. And maybe the most important part in our case, it's which font use for a first or second project. I put here 5 examples. 4 of them are free and you can find on Google Fonts, and 5th you should pay for it at Proxima Nova, but it's worth it. All of these 5 fonts you can use for a first or second project, and it would be looks like amazing. Don't use whitespace or negative space. Every junior done this mistake. It is don't use negative space. We have 2 examples in our case. Left side example has more negative space. Negative space I highlighted by this red color. This mockup has a better structure because every element has negative space. Negative space it's equal air. When we add this air to our mockup, we create a visual hierarchy, we create a structure of our mockup, and it's more pleasant to look at this mockup, really. If you compare this with right side example, it has worse structure because all of these elements are close to each other, they are much bigger than it should be, and we don't see this visual hierarchy and it's difficult to scan this mockup. Please use negative space or white space when you want to highlight some elements in your mockup or when you want to create some visual structure or visual hierarchy in your mockup. Avoiding visual grouping. Okay, let's talk about visual grouping. In this example, we have a big space between every element, title and description, description and button, button and picture, and it doesn't help us create the visual grouping because we should put elements close to each other. This is the right example, we understand this is united component and all elements close to each other and they create this visual grouping, the goal of we are following, using some custom grids in your design. When you start creating your own website, please don't use some custom grids, use some common grids. In my case, it's 12 pixel grid. Let's have a look on the settings, which this grid has. 12 columns, 72 pixel width and 30 gutter. Use something similar, please set up it by yourself, but you should understand how this grid works and after that go to custom. Sometimes junior forget about design states. Okay, what does it mean? I saw a lot of input fields like this one. It's all material design input fields. By clicking to this one, the label will go to up and cursor appear. What's the drawback of this input fields? When you click to it, your other components, for instance in sign-in form, would be jump from one place to another because this input become bigger. And junior don't think about this one, they just create the static mockups without thinking about how customer will interact with this one. In this case, it's much better to use some common input fields without any jumping in this case. And the main point of this one, please think about your states of your component, please think about how your design will interact with your customer. A lack of consistency. If you're talking about consistency, we should have it everywhere across our design. What we have in our examples. We have 3 design blocks, but between them we have different spaces, and I suppose we should change the situation and have the same spaces between every design blocks. It creates a consistency. If you look at this icon, we have filled icon, outline it and with some decoration. In a case if we start using some type of icon, we should use it everywhere. If we start using outlined icon, use the same type of icon across your project and it creates a consistency. Avoid decoration of your website. Okay, it's my favorite one. When we add a lot of decoration, for instance, in one side of our mockup, in right side is so empty, and we should align this composition and create the balance of this mockup. In this case, we can add some additional text here, but if you want to. But first and foremost, you should create a structure of your website, and after that, if you want to balance your mockup, please add some decoration. Using inconsistent icons. We have mobile screen where we have our navigation. It's a tab bar. Right now we are located in favorites page, but let's have a look for this tab bar without any selection. We have icons with the same style. We have icons with the same weight, and also we have icon with additional container which help us to align all of this icon accordingly. Also, just want to stop in very important moments when we create and add some icon to our interface. Please don't forget about add additional description for it. In a case if you're talking about search, it's easy to understand what this box does it mean. But if you're talking about, for instance, templates and my box, company cloud, or this is maybe favorite, send for a signature, please add description for this icon. Just notify customer what will be if they click to the specific section. designing for yourself. Think about your customer, your clients, to whom you're designing for. Don't think about yourself, and don't use some patterns that you know maybe your end customer don't know this one. If you're talking about jewelry, website for jewelry, I am not a client of this website. I will think about customer needs, what they want, and what the pain points they face during the process of purchasing. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. If you find it useful, please put a like on this video and also write some comments below. See you next time. Have a great day.